guys, it is Carl Brown from GL365 Have got a classic for you today. We're going to learn how to play David Bowie's Starman. So this has some mysterious chords in it. And it's got an electric guitar solo, which I'm going to flip to electric at the end and show you the simple little solo that happens in the song. So it's a great track though. So we've got quite a few chords to get around. So let's get to it. Before I do, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And ring that little notification bell so you know when I release a new lesson. And thank you to anybody that has joined this channel. Click the join button if you haven't already. A small donation really helps the channel out. It helps me keep cranking out these lessons for you guys. And if you really like what I do here, please check out my Guitar Academy at guitarlessons365.com. It's got all my guitar courses covering a bunch of topics, so it's a lot of fun. So I hope to see you there. So let's get into it. We're in standard tuning, and he's obviously on a 12-string guitar, so it's going to sound a lot more full than this thing is. But anyway, so this intro has got one very controversial chord. It's not controversial, but a lot of people are like, you know, a lot of back and forth about what's actually going on here in these opening chords. So this is my version of it. So what I'm hearing mostly is just a B flat major, sorry. Now you hear a little rumbling, like the E string rumbling in there. So that is why it seems like what he's doing is he's playing here, first fret on the A, third fret on the D, G, and the B. And he has the open high E string. But there's a little melody on the high E. It goes from E to F. So that means that you could just have the finger off of it, so you're just playing the note just on the A string at first. And then you make it a full bar to get that note on the high E string. So it's kind of tricky. Now you hear this little low E rumbling in there, so it could be that he's just not muting that string that great. And it's just the rest of the guitar resonating is making that ring out. But I was trying to get that in there because it kind of sounds nasty. So we have this. And then we basically do the same thing off of an F major. So that makes it, so how he plays it too, he likes to play his bar chords like this, with not much of a bar at all, just a thumb. So that, and it makes more sense to play it this way for this chord at least. So it's first fret here, so high E string open at first. Then the first fret on the B, second fret on the G, third fret on the D, and third fret on the A. And the thumb, the first fret on the low E. So that makes it an F major 7 chord. So he strums that and then rotates and makes it a little, you gotta kind of collapse the fingers up here it's quite tricky to play the first fret on the high E to make it a full major. And then back to the. That's pretty close to what I'm hearing there. So let's get to the verse now. I would sing along, but I can't get all these words together. I can't do it. So I can hum, maybe, but that's about it. So the verse. So what's going on there? So it's based off a G minor chord here. So it's a full bar at the third fret. A lot of bar chords in this. Fifth fret on the D and the G. I'm sorry, G note. Fifth fret on the D and the A. So that G minor take it down 2 frets, and now make it a major by playing the 2nd fret there on the G. So it's a F major chord. Then we go to a C major with a G in the bass. So, I'm sure if you know C major, just take this finger and move it over to the 3rd fret on the low E, and then replace the finger that you just picked up with your pinky there on the 3rd fret of the A. So that's the C major, and then it goes to a C dominant 7. So we go back to basically just a C major chord, but then add the 3rd fret there on the G string. Then back to F. So far we have this. So after that F, we're gonna turn around to start the verse over by just doing a quick A flat and B flat major chord. So that's just that F bar chord that we did at the 4th fret, 2 hits, and then 6th fret, and then we start over. So the 2nd time around, when we get to that C7 chord, it's not going to go back to the F and the A flat, B flat. It's going to, from here, it's going to jump straight to the pre-chorus, which is basically just a little piano riff with 2 chords. Sets us up for the chorus. So those chords, still got that bar chord. You're gonna play it, like I said, he would play it with his thumb over here, but you can play it normal. So at the 5th fret bar chord, A major, down to the 3rd fret, same chord shape for G major. And then we have the chorus. There's a song. So a lot of chords flying by there. So we start with just that F major chord. And that takes us to a D minor. That's 1st fret on the high E, 3rd fret on the B, 2nd fret on the G, open D. Then we go to an A minor chord. Just a regular A minor. But what we're going to do here, it's a cool little change here. We're going to take this A minor, and we're going to pick up our ring finger and move it over to the 3rd fret on the low E. So that G string is open now. Then we're going to take it to that C. We're going to keep that note here on the low E string, and then play a C major. So a C major with G in the bass that we did earlier. So we have this. And then once again we take that C and turn it into a C7. And then repeats. So the 2nd time around, after we get to that C7, now we're going to go to a B flat major chord. It sounds kind of like there's a F in the bass there, so you can kind of do that. So we have this B flat major chord, and you can let your index finger go across to the low E string as well. So the 1st fret on the A and the low E, and then you're going to bar you can use whatever finger you like, or like this, but 3rd fret across the D, G, and the B. And then you're going to take that, make that B flat minor chord. So it's going to go from B flat major to B flat minor by taking the note on the B string and moving it down one fret to the second fret. So this. And then you already got the bar. We're going to move to an F major. So. From there, it goes to a D major chord with F sharp in the bass. So it's just a regular D major. Flip that thumb over and grab the F sharp, the second fret on the low E. Then we're going to jump up to that G minor that we did earlier. And then to that C major with the G in the bass. So all together. So from there, after the chorus, we have that little solo section starts here. Now there's an acoustic guitar there and an electric guitar that comes in. You hear the electric guitar more, the riff that the electric guitar is doing there. So I'll cover that here on acoustic. It looks like this. At the end, it kind of goes longer than that. So that's kind of a little boogie-woogie chord. So it's kind of a Chuck Berry thing here. We got 6th fret there on the low E, and then the 8th fret there on the A string. So we have this, hit that a couple times, and then big stretch, pinky on the A, the 10th fret, and then back down to the 8th fret. So you do that a couple times there at the 6th fret. Then it gets a little bit harder because you're going to take that same thing and move it down to the 1st fret. So the frets are pretty big, so it's kind of hard to get that. Then he slides up and does it at the 8th fret. And then back down to the 1st fret. And there's that little transition there that goes, just hit the power chord, 3rd fret on the low E, 5th fret on the A string, 3, 5, and then up to 6 to start over. So just like that. Now there's acoustic that goes with it too, that you can just kind of track that with just the B flat major. So they have up to the C, 8th fret, F. Alright, so all we got left now is the little solo spot over that section. That kind of happens twice in the song, and at the very end he kind of goes off on it a little bit, but I'm not going to do the full solo at the end. I'm not a big fan of outro solos. I just never am. So they just kind of wander a bit. So I'm just going to do the main solo, and then the main solo kind of recurs again at the end before he starts doing a few extra things with it. So anyway, so I'm going to switch to electric now, and I'll show you how to play the solo. All right, so that starts here at the 5th fret there on the G string. You're going to bend that up a whole step, do that again. And pick 5, 3, 2. So this. And then from there, 2, 3, 5, and then now do the bend. A couple of bends there at the 7th fret on the G. So release that bend. To 5 now on the G, then back to 2. So we have this. So when you get to 2, it pretty much starts over. That 2, 3, 5. But here, there's 2 quick bends there when you go back to that 5 there. And then the normal. So it's 3 bends total there on the 5. Then 5, 3, 2, 2, 3, 5. That's just like before. And so we have those 2 bends at the 7 again. And we have a different ending. It releases that bend. 5, then 7, 5 on the D. So all together. So at the end, he starts with that kind of same melody, and then he goes off into, you know, doing some other solos that kind of skip. But yeah, it's obviously very basic. It's a nice little solo to kind of get started on if you wanted to learn how to do bends and everything. Most of it's just on one string. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you again soon with GuitarLessons365.com.